you can see, this is the fashion world. Ladies, today is your day once again. Thanks to Hype, we brought you Thulare, who was here yesterday, speaking about ladies, fashion, and her latest range. And this is it, Thulare Studio. Thulare.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Not bad. Thank you once again for coming through.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, okay, yesterday we showed you, the viewers your fashion.
Yes.
And I'm sure, like everybody else, they digged it.
Thank you.
And now we just want to go, you know, into more of the whole process of designing. Tell us the basic needs to start off.
Well, I think the most basic of all is that you need to have the passion and the talent and the willingness to really go the whole hog as far as, because fashion is, it may look glamorous, but there's a lot of work that goes behind it.
There's something I wanted to ask you yesterday. Why do you only focus on women's fashion? Was that a personal choice?
I think women are just a little bit more interesting to design for. I think in terms of women's bodies, and women also just have a far more wider perspective, I think, about fashion. Men tend to be a little bit more limited as far as fashion is concerned. So I think,
jacket and jeans.
Yes, and once they find something that they like, they stick to it.
Yeah.
Whereas at least women are more experimental and they're willing to try, you know, different things. And of course, I think a woman's body is just that much more interesting to work with.
All right. Okay, here we have a sewing machine.
Yes.
And your needies.
Yes.
What's in that box?
Oh, I've got a whole bag of tricks in here. Got a tracing wheel, got my needles, you know, for my sewing machine.
And the biggest scissors
and
I've seen.
these are the necessity. This is
cut through anything.
Anything.
Does not your studio? I'm sure it's got like loose things everywhere and
there's things
like
everywhere. There's fabric everywhere. There's tons of fabric everywhere. And also I design bags as well. So there's like leather and there's like fabrics and all sorts of different things as well. Beads, because I work a lot with beads as well.
Yeah.
But and also just really trying to incorporate and add new things, you know, to clothing that are, you know, quote unquote unusual, and always experimenting and doing different things.
Now the sewing machine.
Yes.
How long does it take for one to get into it?
Not very long. I think within like a week or 2 weeks, you know, and also it's one of those things where you need to practice. Practice makes perfect, and I think that goes for any industry, but more so for the fashion industry. The more you practice, the better you get.
Now, we're gonna bring on your models.
My two lovely models.
Bring them on, and these are real funky hairstyles.
Yes, they are. Braiding for Africa, once again, have done a marvelous job with the hair.
Okay.
And basically, this is two inspirations. One, as you can see, is a very Indian, Asian inspiration, and this is a very African inspiration. This is a Venda-inspired print using Hessian. And Hessian is generally used as a upholstery fabric, but I've taken it and used it as a garment. And I think it really makes a stunning garment at the end of the day. And this is, like I said, this is a very Asian, Indian-inspired sort of sari dress with a scarf that goes over it. And this is fabric that I found, that I bought in Senegal.
Yeah.
And so there's like an African sort of Asian mixture. And that's really what my design is really all about, and my philosophy as a designer is about bringing cultures and taking the most basic elements of different cultures and different ethnic groups and bringing that and making it a contemporary high fashion garment at the end of the day. And
now, talking about the hair and makeup.
Yes.
How do you then just decide, okay, I want this kind of hairdo, I want that.
Well, I've been working with a very wonderful group of ladies, Zandine, Lamy, and Star, from Braiding for Africa. And we've been working very closely in terms of creating a look that complements my aesthetic as a designer. So basically, you know, I would give them a brief in terms of what it is, you know, that I'm looking for, and they go out and they come up with the most amazing hairstyles, as you can see. So we've had a lot of fun working together, and they've come up with the most amazing hairstyles that anybody can imagine, and it's just such a pleasure to work with them.
Well, I must tell you that we've had many designers on the show, and your stuff is really very experimental.
Thank you.
And it's funky.
And I think really that's what the whole objective is, I think, about contemporary African and South African designers is that basically it's about taking African aesthetic and African inspiration into the 21st century, and that, you know, we're bridging, you know, the ancient with the future and really bringing that together and really coming up with some really amazing stuff.
All right, Thulare, we'll definitely have you on the show again.
Thank you very much for having me. It's
yeah,
it
was a pleasure from our side too, here on Hype.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you luck with your designs and your fashion future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, you better stay right there.
Ciao.